Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation No Time to Die, turn 12.4, the Commonwealth. It is January 1942. First, a shout out to Sergeant Coldstone, who caught me trying to build 2 transports out of a minor shipyard in C-Zone 24. I removed the second transport and will produce it this turn. I salute you, good catch, and in recognition of your achievement, this transport that I falsely built last turn will be named the SS Coldstone in your honor. So we'll have that little tag on there. Hopefully nothing happens to it. The 7 IPP here represents that I had already spent that money last turn, so basically it's kind of a free transport this turn. It's a delayed transport that I am not including in the, let's see how many, 33 IPPs that I'll be spending. Okay, first let's do the 2 tech rolls. I'm going to be making one roll for wartime economy and another roll for improved construction. So my first roll for wartime economy is a success. After 12 turns, I get my second success here, and I leave America in the dust. America's at stage 1 for wartime economy, the only country to ever have worse. Although he might catch it and do it in 12 too. And then I did get improved construction, rolling an 11. So I succeeded with both my tech rolls. That is a first. Feels so nice to get to stage 2. You know, I'll have to wait till July of 39 to go further than that. Okay, British purchases. I have 2 medium armor for 12, 2 Marines for 8, 1 airborne infantry for 3, 1 infantry for 3, 1 artillery for 4. I'm going to finish construction of the airbase in eastern Egypt for 3. That totals 33. And then I've got that transport. Okay, FEC purchases. I'm going to get 1 Gurkha for 4, 1 artillery for 4, and 2 colonial infantry for 8, totaling 16. ANZAC will purchase 1 fighter for 10, and Lend-Lease and airborne infantry to KMT for 3. That comes out to 13, and I'll save 4 IPP. Combat movement. Okay, we're gonna zoom out here a little bit. Okay, right down here, this transport is going to pick up this infantry and move up here to C-Zone 52 and drop that off in Istanbul. So that will put the Commonwealth up 2, and it'll move Germany down 2. Germany drops to 65, the Commonwealth goes to 29. Okay, the next combat move is 1 submarine will convoy raid C-Zone 14, that's up there by Sweden, because Russia had 3 sub attempts and got 2 points of damage. So we'll see if I can't get that 3rd point with Britain. 1 strategic bomber in London will pick up this airborne and fly 1, 2, 3 to Alsace-Lorraine and capture Alsace-Lorraine for 3 IPP. That will put Germany down to 62, and it'll put Great Britain temporarily up to 32. All right, and then we have 1 naval transport in C-Zone 79. That's right here. We'll move 1, 2, 3, because there's a major port of Gibraltar. Get to C-Zone 24, and it will pick up this 1 infantry here off British Midlands and drop him off in Normandy. 3 fighters will fly from London to Normandy. 3 fighters will fly from British Midlands to Normandy. And the battleship in C-Zone 24 will shore bombard Normandy. Okay, let's go over here to see what our dice results are. I think that's going to be too close when there's potential we miss some of the die rolling area there. That'll capture everything. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is the sub. Attacker is red, defender is white. I have a +2 for being a submarine. And it's even, so nothing happens. All right. Then we're going to do, I'm going to do 1 bombardment with the battleship, so I won at 4, miss. And then we've got 6 fighters. Unfortunately, I don't have my dice, put them away, so 1, this is ridiculous, 2, 3, okay. And then he gets a retaliatory strike at 4, hit, okay. So I do not end up taking Normandy. Normandy stays German. All right. And that concludes the combat phase. Okay, now we're going to do non-combat movement. Okay. My first non-combat is that I'm going to have 2 infantry in Sydney move to New South Wales. Okay. Next, I'm going to have 5 British infantry. If you, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit on this to make it easier for my opponents. You can see, oh, no, that's too much. Okay, you can see this task force card. So there's going to be 5 British infantry, 1 Anzac infantry, 5 Gurkhas, 1 Anzac mountain, 4 British artillery, 1 Anzac artillery, and 2 anti-aircraft artillery are going to move from Calcutta to Bengal. That leaves behind in Calcutta 9 militia, 6 infantry, and a fortification. All right. Now we'll zoom out a little bit. Well, maybe we can just swivel over here a little bit. Okay, here I'm going to have 4 infantry and 1 artillery move from eastern Egypt into Transjordan. I'll fuss with that later. Okay, then I will have 1 coastal defense ship and 2 torpedo boat destroyers that are in Sea Zone 81 will move over here to join the Italian subs in Sea Zone 82. Then I'll have the units that are on, I have to zoom out just a scooch, this task force card here, which consists of 1 light carrier with a tactical bomber, 2 battleships, 1 battle cruiser, 4 heavy cruisers, 1 British light cruiser, 1 Anzac light cruiser, and 5 destroyers, along with this submarine and this naval transport are going to move up here to this sea zone 52. So moving the big fleet from 81 up to 52. So there are no British ships, no Commonwealth ships in Sea Zone 81. 1 anti-aircraft artillery. I don't think that's on the screen. Maybe it is. Yes, it is. Okay, it's right here. This anti-aircraft in Nubia moves up to into eastern Egypt. 1 torpedo boat destroyer that's over here near Gibraltar is going to move from Sea Zone 105 up to Sea Zone 79 and join this tiny little fleet that's in Sea Zone 79, consisting of 1 light carrier with a tactical bomber, 1 British destroyer, 1 Anzac destroyer, and then there's 2 naval transports, 1 British, 1 Anzac. Okay, one coastal defense ship that's up in Sea Zone 13. It was formerly Denmark's. It's going to come over. I can only move one space. It will come over to Sea Zone 25. And this destroyer that's in Sea Zone 24 will come over one space and join it. So those are the only two units that I have in Sea Zone 25. One naval transport picks up one infantry and one marine from British Midland. It's the naval transport here that didn't move. You know, one came up from 79, the other one was sitting here at the start of the turn, the one I built last turn. It picks up these two guys, and it moves down 1, 2, 3, down to Sea Zone 79, and it drops off these two units in Gibraltar. Okay. Strategic rail movement. One anti-aircraft artillery from South African Union, the tough place for me to get. It rails up to eastern Egypt. Hopefully that's easy enough for my opponents to follow. Strategic naval movement, none. Placement of British units. 2 medium armor and 2 marines, along with 1 airborne air infantry. These 5 units will go into London. So 2 medium armor, 2 marines, and 1 airborne infantry. All these guys are the ones that go into London. And infantry goes into northern England. 1 artillery is going to go into South African Union. I'm completing construction of the air base in East Africa. Well, let's zoom this out a little bit so we can see what's happening. So this construction marker is leaving, and this air base is placed down. That naval transport that I misbuilt last time by building too many units in Sea Zone 24 does end up in 24. It's just a turn late. That's the Cold Stone. Sorry for Cold Stone, my friend. Thanks for catching that. And I think that is the end of the British placement of units. Now we'll do the FEC placement of units. I am placing 1 Gurkha in Bengal. So it goes from 5 Gurkhas in Bengal up to 6 Gurkhas. Whoops, that wasn't a red chip, was it? Here we go. Okay. And next we have an artillery that is built in Calcutta. And then we have the 2 colonial infantry that are built in British Malaya. So British Malaya goes from having 6 militia, 2 infantry, up to 6 militia, 4 infantry. Alright, that's the end of FEC placement of units. The Anzac built a fighter, and that will go into Sydney. And then they lend-leased a airborne infantry to the KMT that will leave Queensland, travel to Burma, go by Burma Road into Yunnan. And I saved 4. Okay, so now let's collect income. Great Britain collects 33. Nope, that's not true. Collects 32. You can tell I thought I was going to take Normandy. So 32 plus 3 for the Suez. That gets me up to 35, plus 2 for no submarines raiding me. 37. 37 IPP for Great Britain. Okay, and then FEC collects 16. They collect 14 plus 2 for holding Aden and, what's the second one? Eastern Egypt, so that's 16. And then ANZAC collects 7 plus 2 for no enemy surface ships within 2 sea zones of Australia. So that's 9 for ANZAC. And they had 4 left over, so that means I end the turn with 13 for ANZAC. All right, now we begin turn 12.5, Free France's turn. Let's swivel over so we can see Free French purchases. Okay, Free France has 10 and is going to spend 10 to buy 1 fighter. Combat movement, I'm going to have 1 submarine, convoy raid, Sea Zone 14, and maybe 5th time is the charm. Let's see if we can't get that 1 IPP. The red is the attacker, the white is the defender. The submarine gets a +2. Well, that is amazing. 5 submarines, 4 of them couldn't do the job. So we did take, Germany did lose 2, but that was all that could be taken off of that. All those subs tried to get that last point and just couldn't. Okay, let's look at non-combat movement. Bring the camera back, zoom out, see if we can't get this cavalry up. We can pick him up down there in Chad. And he is going to move 1, 2 into Nubia. Then 2 fighters are going to fly from northern Algeria over to eastern Egypt. So now I have 3 Free French fighters in eastern Egypt. Strategic rail movement, none. Strategic nail movement, none. Placement of French units, 1 Free French fighter in northern Algeria. Free France collects 9 IPP. This is Global War 36 Enthusiast, turning this over to Panzer J, and 12.6 Italy.